What is up, Packers fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Daily Draft. I'm your host and the publisher of Packer Report, Ross Uglem. We are brought to you today, as always, by Brewski Light Lager, the good folks at Badger State Brewing, just minutes away from beautiful Lambeau Field, where you guys can have so much fun on draft week. Yes, I said draft week. The fun starts at Badger State Brewing on April 22nd and runs all the way through NFL draft weekend. Today, we are talking about a commonly mocked player to the Packers that would cause me some angst, especially if it happened super early. And that is Iowa State cornerback Darien Porter. Pros. Depends on how you take this. I have gotten scared away by tall corners and not just by Kevin King. If you've been watching the Daily Draft, I've had my tall cornerback spiel at least twice now. I'm not going to get into the whole thing again, but it's just a difficult position for tall players to play. Tariq Woolen and PS2 and Sauce are kind of the three sort of exceptions, if you will. Like 18 of the top 20 corners last year were 6'1" or shorter. Most of them are like 5'11". So anyway, but no tall corner rant today. So in the pros, he is absolutely massive for a cornerback. Darien Porter, guys, is a freak show athlete. Top 5 corner all time in relative athletic score. That's out of nearly 2,800 cornerbacks. When I say freak show, I mean from Mars, not from here. Freakazoid, Calvin Johnson at corner level, crazy ass athlete. Like, it's what he did in testing, and it was, I think, full. I think it was he ran agilities, he jumped explosives, and he ran the 40. I think it was a full bevy of tests, and good God Almighty, Darien Porter, athlete. The 4.3 flat 40 is awesome and crazy elite, but the agility times at 6'3" are what would give me hope. And it doesn't translate on film, and we'll talk about that. But for him to be as agile as he was, and to run the 3-cone and to run the short shuttle that he did at 6'3", you have my attention. Does a decent job of locating the football and will attack it when it's in the air. He can be a functional cornerback in zone coverage, especially off, where he can use that burst and athleticism to go get the football, right? To play quarters, to play deep thirds, see the ball thrown and go attack it, because he is that level of an athlete. Unless you have an absolute rocket arm, he's going to get there at the same time as your wide receiver is. Strong and physical in the run game as it pertains to effort and as it pertains to beating blocks. Not so much on the tackling, but his tackling isn't a huge problem. It's just not something I would throw in the pros category. Could be one of the better special teams players in pro football, full stop. 6'3", you run like that, he could revolutionize what you are doing on special teams from a coverage standpoint. I think he could be an absolutely elite special teamer in the NFL. Okay. Guys, buy the draft guide for the love of God. Okay. We love doing it every year. This year, it's going to be absolutely awesome. It's dropping soon. You're going to get it soon. Use promo code DAILY for $1 off and tell them Ross sent you. Cons. Limited college playing time and production at cornerback. Sat behind TJ Tampa. He played, obviously behind good players at Iowa State, but you would just like a guy to kind of be the star. And Iowa State's a good program, but it's not like the Big 12 is known for defense. You're going to spend a top 100 pick on a corner out of the Big 12. I would prefer that he started for 3 years if he's a senior, or started for 2 years if he's coming out as a junior. And that's not the case with Darien Porter, especially from a productivity standpoint. Does not change direction well. Frankly, his change of direction on film sort of spits in the face of what we see as his numbers from the combine. They don't make a ton of sense. That inability to change direction makes him a real problem in man coverage. He cannot mirror routes very well at all. Allows too much separation. It's kind of the same thing, but it's just too often on tape that his responsibility, and I don't know the call, right? I don't know what defense they're in on every single play. I got a pretty decent idea, but the guy that it seems that Porter is responsible for is too open too often. Not a great tackler in open space. He's so linear. Like, there's not a lot of breaking down, and so when he is in the open field, it gets kind of rough sometimes, especially against backs. The football, and this would be sort of a defining thing, unfortunately, for Darien Porter. Right now, the football doesn't match the combine numbers. That's my biggest issue with him right now. The football doesn't match the combine numbers. Guys, head over to Badger State Brewing the week of the draft. And I do mean the week of the draft. There's going to be fun stuff going on there starting April 22nd, going through the whole week. Food trucks there. There's going to be the best beers in Wisconsin. Also, Badger State's beer is going to be there, and all their stuff is awesome. But there's going to be other beer from around the state, vendors from around the state. I think there's going to be live music. There's going to be an old-fashioned station. These guys don't even make that liquor, so you just got to appreciate what they're doing over at Badger State. It's just a short walk from Lambeau Field. Go check them out all draft week over at Badger State and have a brewski for me. Packers fit. They might love him, right? He does have some things in common with Kevin King. Specifically those agilities at 6'3". That's what was so crazy about Kevin King. It wasn't just that he ran fast at 6'3", it's that he could move at 6'3". And that, I think, is what got the Packers so gosh darn excited about him at the time. I think Darien Porter could give the special teams a ton of juice. They're going to have to take him higher than you'd want to if he's a teams guy. And you know what? Maybe he's Tariq Woolen and I'm just an idiot. Who knows? Overall, I got a 4th round grade. He is my 103rd overall player. And folks, what do we say? Drink Badger State, buy the guide, and go Pack Go.